A massive software monopoly that controls nearly every computer on Earth is suddenly facing a total collapse in its largest market. A secret 5-year engineering project just resulted in a brand new operating system that is forcing the biggest tech company in the world into a massive fight for survival. The origin of this massive hardware shift traces back to a major political event in July 2019. The US government put restrictions on Huawei that prevented it from utilizing Windows and Android on its devices. This specific action immediately cut the company off from global software markets and nearly destroyed its international phone business. Google cut off access to Android services, and the relationship with Microsoft became highly unstable. In August 2019, the company announced a basic bridge operating system to survive. The global technology industry largely dismissed this announcement. Most companies want a big flashy launch that proves they have already won. Huawei instead let the world laugh off its first attempt, knowing full well that the real version was still years away. From 2019 to 2024, the company engaged in a secret 5-year development process. Nobody in the Western markets knew that engineers were actively building a completely independent platform called HarmonyOS Next. Many financial analysts assumed the new software was just a modified version of existing technology. That assumption was completely false. HarmonyOS Next does not use any Android open source code at all. There is no hidden Android layer running quietly underneath. The engineers spent 5 entire years building a fully independent operating system from the ground up to ensure they would never face another supply chain lockout. The turning point occurred on May 8, 2025. The company officially launched its HarmonyOS PC operating system, publicly marking its expansion into the computer market with a rebuilt OS featuring enhanced performance, security, and cross-device collaboration. Actual products began shipping to enterprise customers. A month later, during the June 2025 developer conference, the company debuted its first personal computer. The corporate messaging was highly direct. Representatives stated that HarmonyOS will enable easier connectivity and seamless experience between devices. The primary barrier for any new operating system is software compatibility. In 2024, the mobile phone version of this software only had 10,000 applications. By late 2025, the mobile ecosystem grew to over 350,000 native applications. The desktop version launched with immediate professional utility. The system supports over 150 exclusive application, 2,000 plus universal application, and compatibility with 1,000 plus external devices. The company already possessed a massive customer base to target. By late 2025, the total ecosystem had surpassed 900 million active devices, making it the third largest mobile OS globally. The introduction of this new software happened at the exact moment millions of computers required a mandatory system update. Windows 10 left mainstream support in October 2025. This technical deadline pushed a huge wave of government offices and massive businesses toward a forced hardware upgrade cycle. Every single local government and corporate enterprise faced a very specific choice. They could either pay Microsoft for new software licenses, or they could switch to the free domestic alternative. The national government actively encouraged state offices and infrastructure operators to treat this forced upgrade moment as the perfect time to adopt homegrown alternatives. While the forced upgrade cycle created the opportunity, a massive security scandal provided the political justification to abandon American software. In July 2025, Chinese state-backed hackers successfully exploited vulnerabilities in Microsoft SharePoint. Security reports confirmed that Linen Typhoon, which first surfaced in 2012, has used existing exploits to steal intellectual property, targeting government, defense industries, and strategic planning organizations. The situation became much worse for Microsoft when a major investigation by ProPublica revealed deep security flaws within the United States military support structure. The investigation exposed that Microsoft has quietly used Chinese tech support for US government clients for 10+ years. The details of this investigation destroyed public trust in the software giant. The report documented how Americans were hired to act as digital escorts between foreign engineers and the United States Defense Department systems. The investigation reported that behind the scenes, unseen by the users at the US government, it's not just one person who responds. 2 people? The China-based engineer is the one who knows how to fix the problem. The Department of Defense officially deemed this practice a major national security vulnerability. Politicians argued that if the software provider could not protect the United States military, foreign governments could not trust the company with their own secure data. This lack of trust caused an immediate international reaction. The movement away from Western operating systems is not isolated to Asia. European nations began taking direct action to secure their own data sovereignty. The German state of Schleswig-Holstein is currently moving 30,000 government employees directly to Linux and LibreOffice to ensure local data stays within German jurisdiction. Official reports confirm that in Denmark, the Ministry of Digital Affairs is phasing out Windows and Office 365 by November 2025 to secure digital independence. When closely aligned European nations decide to abandon a software monopoly, it proves the geopolitical vulnerability is recognized globally. Inside China, the transition away from foreign software is a direct legal mandate. The national government issued a specific policy known as Document 79. This legal directive states that the government wants all of its statewide institutions to be rid of Western tech by 2027. This is a hard deadline that is only months away. Government procurement departments control massive budgets, and if they mandate local software compatibility, global enterprise software vendors will be forced to rewrite their applications or completely lose access to a massive market. The financial impact of these decisions is highly visible in the market share data. In early 2025, the legacy American operating system dominated the regional PC market with an 80.18% share, while Apple macOS lagged far behind at just 1.21%. The legacy software is currently defending a global industry that is getting smaller every year. Financial analysts report that the global PC market is expected to decline 12% in 2026. Because the overall industry pie is shrinking, any loss of market share causes immediate financial damage. Sales data shows that Harmony OS PCs sold only 141,000 units in 2025, but forecasts suggest that figure could increase tenfold to 1.4 million in 2026. The adoption strategy relies entirely on business and government contracts rather than individual retail buyers. Technology analysts clearly note that the desktop launch is less about consumer appeal and more about building a secure office computing stack. The new operating system simply needs to be functional, free, and locally controlled. For major enterprise deployments, those three factors are completely sufficient to trigger a massive hardware migration. Several industry analysts remain highly skeptical of this rapid growth projection. Critics point out that without strong app support, Harmony OS Desktop may remain limited to selected enterprise deployments instead of becoming a broader Windows alternative. However, this skepticism ignores the fundamental cause and effect of government mandates. The legacy operating system relies on network effects to maintain its monopoly. In a state-controlled market, government funding completely removes network effects as a barrier. The government can simply mandate the adoption of the new platform across all state-owned enterprises, banks, and infrastructure operators. The psychological motivations driving this massive transition are based entirely on strict survival and state control. Owning a domestic operating system guarantees total independence from foreign geopolitical decisions. Transitioning to a free operating system saves the government millions of dollars in recurring software licensing fees. For the hardware manufacturer, building an entirely independent ecosystem containing domestic chips, a domestic operating system, and a domestic application store guarantees that a foreign supply chain lockout can never happen to them again. The American software provider has not publicly panicked because the company generates massive global profits and genuinely believes its enterprise dominance is an unbreakable historical fact. This exact pattern of technology replacement has happened multiple times in recent history. During the 1980s, Japan was initially locked out of specific United States computer markets. The country built independent alternatives, and within 10 years, Japanese companies became highly competitive globally. A similar software shift occurred with Linux. Throughout the 1990s, Linux started as a very small niche operating system. It took 15 solid years to gain real traction, but it now runs the vast majority of global data centers. We also saw a massive market split between 2007 and 2015, when iOS and Android completely destroyed older competitors like Windows Phone and BlackBerry. Another identical historical parallel is the standards war between DVI and HDMI during the 2000s. Intel backed the DVI standard, but a massive consortium of electronics manufacturers backed HDMI. HDMI ultimately won the market because it was simpler and had backing from multiple massive hardware manufacturers. Today, we are seeing a single American vendor fighting against a brand new software standard that is backed by an entire domestic manufacturing ecosystem. The financial consequences of this technological shift create a very clear list of permanent winners and losers. The hardware manufacturer instantly becomes a full-stack technology company, controlling the physical chips, the operating system, and the application ecosystem. Domestic enterprise companies benefit from significantly lower operational costs and complete data sovereignty. The primary loser in this transition is the American software provider, which faces a massive drop in regional revenue and a direct threat to its global licensing business model. Major Western hardware manufacturers like Intel and AMD also lose significantly. Because the new operating system runs entirely on domestic processing chips, the market share for foreign processors will shrink at the exact same speed as the foreign software. Financial experts project 3 specific future scenarios for this software transition. The first scenario carries a 40% probability and involves slow adoption. Under this path, The new software reaches between 5% and 10% of the regional desktop market by 2027. The American software provider sees revenue drop by 20% to 30%, but retains its global dominance. The second scenario holds a 35% probability and involves rapid adoption. The new software successfully captures 20% to 25% of the regional market by 2027. The government fully enforces the legal mandate, and corporate enterprises quickly follow the government lead to maintain compatibility. Under this specific path, the American software provider loses over 50% of its regional revenue, and its total global market share declines to 60%. The final scenario carries a 25% probability and involves a massive global defection. The independent software succeeds in its home market, which proves to the rest of the world that American technology monopolies can be broken. The European Union accelerates the creation of its own independent operating system. Other developing nations launch similar sovereign software projects. Under this massive geopolitical shift, the legacy operating system sees its global market share drop permanently to between 40% and 50% by 2030. The legacy software provider has not lost everything yet. As of early 2025, the American operating system still holds a massive 72.67% of the global desktop market. The software still runs the overwhelming majority of computers on the entire planet, and that absolute dominance is not disappearing in a single year. However, the exact blueprint for complete technology independence is now fully visible to every government on Earth. Once one country proves it is possible to build a fully independent chip supply, a fully independent phone system, and a fully independent computer system, other nations no longer have to wonder if it is possible. Does this new operating system actually have a real shot at spreading beyond its home borders? Or does the legacy American software hold on to its global grip for good?